We have just attended the ribbon cutting ceremony on the new east entrance of Mary DeShazo Elementary School. And we're talking with Mary Nell DeShazo Weems of El Paso. But you were reared in Muleshoe, right, Nell?
Right, and I graduated from high school in 1946.
Here in Muleshoe High School, but the high school was not on the location today. Where was it?
Well, I think it was north of the grade school, was it?
Well, I would call that east, and it was on West Fifth Street.
Okay.
But I don't know. Isn't that east? Oh, that's west. That's right. I just said the east entrance. Boy.
Up and down.
Well, I don't even know up and down. This is up, right?
Okay.
And that was the two-story building, right?
Correct.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Did you start to school in Muleshoe?
I did. I went to kindergarten in the Methodist church.
Really? Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
The old church that was brought in from Old Hurley, I'm sure.
I don't.
Very small.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And
it's the same location.
Yes. On the corner of West Avenue, D and 3rd. Thank you, Gil Robert. No, 2nd. You're right. Yeah, 2nd Street. Yes, just a couple blocks from here. Now, when your mother came here, she was a bride.
Right.
And what year was it?
Someone told me 23, but I'm not sure.
Uh-huh. And that's what your brother said.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And they married where?
You know, I don't know. Probably Snyder.
Uh-huh. She was reared in Snyder?
Correct.
And she was the oldest of how many children? Yeah, is that right?
Correct. And Farine Harris lived here, and she was the youngest. Mm-hmm. There was one boy and 5 girls.
Really? Uh-huh. And so what did your grandparents do, her parents?
He was a farmer, I believe.
Now,
he died when I was about 6.
And so were you born in Muleshoe?
I was born in Lubbock.
In Lubbock, She went all the way to Lubbock.
Now, Dunn was my doctor.
Dr. Dunn, a real pioneer medical physician of Lubbock in that area.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And so there were 3 children in Mary and Jinx DeShazo's family. And who was the oldest?
John.
And he's still living.
He is, and still working. He has an engineering firm in Dallas.
I understand he's very successful.
He is.
What's the name of his firm?
DeShazo Group.
Well, we could have found that easy, couldn't we?
Right.
He's been there many years.
He has, and he just sold he's 83 and works every day. He just sold his company to 6 employees. And his son is one of those. Uh-huh. But they wanted him to stay on 3 more years just for name recognition. Uh-huh. I hope he can make it.
He's a DeShazo. He can.
Yes, he can.
And then who came next?
Me.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then who? Jack. Uh-huh. And Jack is deceased.
Correct.
Where did Jack live?
He lived in Arizona. He was in the Forest Service.
Is that right? Uh-huh. And now, have you ever worked outside the home?
I taught for 6 years. I taught in Carlsbad 3 years and in Midland 3 years.
Now, do you know how your mother developed her love of teaching and books?
Well, you know, she was one of the first feminists. And when she first came here, she knew she was qualified, and she needed a job badly. And so she said to the director of the
president
of the school board, and she said, I need a job, but they were saving all of the jobs for the men who had families to feed. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, let me go talk to them.
This is the early 20s.
Yes.
A woman, I don't think, would address a school board.
Well, he said, no, you can't do that. And so he said, I'll tell you what, I will talk to them today. And in the morning, if you have a rocket in your backyard, you get the job. And she had a rocket.
So how many years did she teach in Muleshoe?
You know, I don't know.
Probably. Do you think she taught even when you were young?
Yes, she did.
So probably, I'm going to guess, 23 to 24 till she died in 52.
She taught 2 generations, I know.
And the school was named after her about what year? Do you have any idea?
Yes, I think it was 57.
In 1957, that they dedicated this school. But it wasn't this building, right? What was the building like then?
It was a little 2 or 3 room classroom. And Mrs. Bronza Cox, Mr. Cox was superintendent of schools, and Bronza was the other teacher.
And that school, the original Mary DeShazo Elementary School, was located where on this lot?
I don't know. It was that away.
It was that away. Well, that would be, I think, south.
Yeah, we can't get it, can we?
What about we have saved a Yellow Jacket, which was a school store open from the late 40s through the late 90s here, and it's at the Muleshoe Heritage Foundation. Do you know, Miss Weems, did you ever go to that school store?
No.
No. You don't remember a school store?
No.
So, and you graduated in 47, right?
46.
46. Now, your oldest brother, John, who's in Dallas, what year did he graduate?
2 years earlier, I believe.
And so that would have been 44. And then your youngest brother graduated, Jack.
In 47, I guess.
And so I always called your father, whom I didn't know, Jinx. He lived right behind the West Plains Hospital, then the forerunner of the Muleshoe Area Medical Center on West Avenue G, right off of the Martin Highway. But what was his real name?
John Jenkins.
John Jenkins DeShazo. And so how did he meet your mother, Mary, and her maiden name was what?
Mary Isaacs DeShazo.
Mary Isaac. How did they meet?
I do not know.
Do you think they met in Snyder?
Yes, yes, in that Scurry County.
Now, today, how many grandchildren are left from Mary DeShazo?
I have 4 grandchildren. I have 3 children.
3 children.
4 grandchildren.
Grandchildren. And what about John?
He has 1 son and no grandchildren. And he's married.
And so that's 4 grandchildren. And so your youngest brother, did he have a family?
No.
No family. So there are grandchildren and great-grandchildren of Mary DeShazo.
Right.
Can you tell me, how does it make you feel today, after all these many years, that her building is still standing?
It's just amazing. All of my friends are teachers. And we cannot feature how beautiful this building is and how wonderful it would be to go to school here or to teach here. Just tremendous.
And the new additions are splendid. The staff is excellent. The students so well behaved and getting really good education.
And they must be. And the teachers are so happy.
And also, some of the teachers and some of the staff are Muleshoe High School products.
I know. I know.
And one of them is the director of the cafeteria, and your mother was her first grade teacher.
She gave me a picture of the...
Did she? And that's Miss John Stevens, Margaret. Now, you went to school here always, and your mother taught here. What has changed since you were a young girl?
The whole school system has. It's just absolutely beautiful. And
You're beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you. But the school system is just fantastic. It's so wonderful to see the teachers and the students and how well they are doing, in their music today and in their speeches today.
Right.
So it's terrific.
Exceptional, I think. Now, you have some friends with you. Who are they who joined you for the ribbon cutting of the new Mary DeShazo East entrance?
I have my college friend, Jo, and her friend Terry's her husband was the commercial painter for this school. And then there's Patsy and Shirley, and Shirley is Joe's sister, and Terry is Patsy's daughter.
Oh, how nice.
And we all travel together.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? I'm so glad they could travel to Mary DeShazo Elementary School in Muleshoe, Texas today.
Party last night.
Oh, you did? Now, you don't have any relatives who still live in Muleshoe, do you?
No, but I have a cousin around here somewhere, and his...
Mrs. Royce Harris, Mr. and Mrs. Royce Harris.
Correct.
And that would be your first cousin, wouldn't it?
Right, and he was just a kid when I was grown.
And he graduated from Muleshoe High School, and his mother was your aunt, Mrs. Earl Harris Fayreen.
Correct.
Well, it is so wonderful to see you here in Muleshoe again, and it's so nice to reminisce with you and remember such a sweet lady and a very fine teacher, your mother.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.